Good evening and welcome to Express News with me, Deepika, your daily half-an-hour window that brings you 100 news and updates from the country and the world in 30 minutes. Let's begin. Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke to his Denmark counterpart Mette Frederiksen. Prime Minister reaffirmed his strong support for India-Denmark Green Strategic Partnership and discussed regional and global developments of mutual interest. Indian Administrative Service officers of 2023 batch called on President Draupadi Murmu at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The President told the officers that the development and public welfare work done by them at the local and state level would help in achieving national goals. Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted the people of Himachal Pradesh on Himachal Divas today. Every year on the 15th of April, Himachal Day is celebrated to mark the formation of Himachal Pradesh as a province of India. Himachal Day is celebrated across districts with local fairs, cultural performances and community events that showcase the state's traditional art, music, crafts and cuisine. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also extended his warm wishes on the occasion of Pohela Boishakh today. Posting on social media platform X, the Prime Minister said, and I quote, "Greetings on Pohela Boishakh," unquote. Pohela Boishakh, also known as Pehla Baisakh, is the Bengali New Year, a vibrant festival celebrated across the Bengali diaspora, marking an end of the spring harvest season and the beginning of a Bengali calendar. In a significant achievement, India's Hajj quota has risen from 1,36,020 in 2014 to 1,75,025 in 2025, finalized by Saudi authorities annually. The Ministry of Minority Affairs through the Hajj Committee of India has completed necessary preparations including flights, transport and services as per Saudi Arabian guidelines. Addressing a press conference in Kerala, Minister of Minority Affairs Kiren Rijiju said that Waqf Amendment Bill aims at providing justice to the needy people. He also highlighted that this bill is not targeted to any particular community. Security forces inducted additional troops and ramped up joint search efforts in the Lasana area of Surankot in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch district after the security personnel made contact with terrorists on Monday night. According to a social media post by Indian Army's White Knight Corps, the search efforts were conducted along with Jammu and Kashmir police to prevent the terrorists from escaping. The Romeo Force of the Indian Army also conducted search operations in Poonch after contact was established with terrorists last night. Registrations are now open for the 50-day-long annual Amarnath Yatra, set to begin on the 3rd of July and concluding on the 9th of August. Pilgrims can register online via Sri Amarnath Shrine Board website. India's Minister of External Affairs inaugurated the newly built gymnastics hall in Gujarat's Rajpipla, marking another step in the government's commitment to strengthening grassroots sports infrastructure. Dr. S. Jaishankar highlighted the importance of initiatives like Khelo India and Fit India, calling them key efforts by the Modi government to identify and nurture sporting talent across the country. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar visited the iconic Statue of Unity during his tour of Gujarat. He also inspected the Post Office Passport Seva Kendra in Rajpipla. The 6th edition of the joint military exercise Dust Lake between India and Uzbekistan commenced in Pune from the 15th of April. It will go on till the 28th of it. Exercise Dust Lake aims to enhance joint training and facilitate the exchange of best practices in counter-terrorism operations. This initiative seeks to enhance military cooperation and interoperability between the two armies. A recent report by Niti Aayog titled Automotive Industry Powering India's Participation in Global Value Chains outlines India's global value chain potential in the automotive sector, highlighting strategic pathways for global leadership. India's automotive industry ranks 4th globally in vehicle production and employs millions, supporting critical linkages across sectors and also accounting for 7.1% of the country's GDP and 49% of manufacturing GDP. Indian equity indices ended on a positive note in the volatile session on Tuesday. At close, Sensex jumped 1,577.63 points to settle at 76,734.89. Nifty surged 500 points to 23,328.55. Indian rupee jumped 33 paise to settle at 85.77 against US dollar on Tuesday. Gold futures maturing on the 5th of June were priced at 93,353 rupees per 10 grams on multi-commodity exchange. Silver futures for the 5th of May maturity stood at 94,976 rupees per kilogram on the MCX. India's overall export showed steady growth in March 2025, with both exports and imports registering year-on-year increases. The total export that combines merchandise and services has increased to $73.61 billion in March 2025, up from $71.71 billion in March 2024. Oil prices were broadly stable on Tuesday after new tariff exemptions floated by the US President Donald Trump, and a rebound in China's oil imports were offset by the IEA following OPEC in cutting its oil demand forecast. Asia shares edged slightly higher on Tuesday. Japan's Nikkei rose by 1%, with shares of MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside Japan went up 0.3%. The three major US stock indices ended higher on Monday. S&P 500 gained 42.7 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 107.78 points. The Dow Jones also rose 312.82 points. India and the United States have signed the terms of reference for its first part of a bilateral trade deal. Both the sides agreed in February to work on the first phase of a trade deal that will be concluded later this year, with a view to reaching bilateral trade worth $500 billion by 2030. Meta platform CEO Mark Zuckerberg took the stand on Monday at a high-stakes trial in Washington over US antitrust enforcers' claim that the company spent billions of dollars to acquire Instagram and WhatsApp to fend off Facebook competitors. Japanese authorities on Tuesday said they had issued a cease and desist order to US tech titan Google over an alleged violation of national antitrust laws. During a meeting in the Oval Office with the President of El Salvador, US President Donald Trump again blamed Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky for the conflict and accused him of responsibility for millions of deaths. He also claimed that Ukrainian leader is constantly seeking to purchase US missiles, adding that he expects some good proposals on ending the conflict soon. Ukrainian forces have hit Russia's Kursk region with dozens of drones, killing an elderly woman and injuring 9 people. The Russian Defense Ministry said that 109 drones were downed over the Kursk region overnight. A multi-story apartment building was damaged due to the attack, with several flats catching fire. In a televised interview on Monday, US envoy Steve Witkoff said that Russian President Vladimir Putin is open to a permanent peace deal with Ukraine. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has said that it was not easy to agree with the United States on the key parts of a possible peace deal to conflict with Ukraine, and that Russia would never again allow itself to depend economically on the West. US President Donald Trump is pushing forward with plans to impose new tariffs on imported medicines and chips, calling for independence a national security risk. The probes are a precursor for imposing levies on chips and drugs. The U.S. Education Department has frozen more than $2.3 billion in federal funding for Harvard University, just hours after the school rejected President Donald Trump's demands that it make deep policy changes on diversity. Harvard on Monday rejected the Trump administration demands that to receive federal funding, it would end diversity efforts and take other steps that the university said would stifle intellectual freedoms of faculty and students. A federal judge blocked US President Donald Trump's administration from quickly revoking the legal status of over 500,000 immigrants from Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Haiti. President Donald Trump said he wants to deport some violent criminals who are US citizens to El Salvador, where they would be incarcerated under an agreement with that country's government. Gaza peace talks mediator Egypt said it received an Israeli proposal for a temporary ceasefire in Gaza that would pave the way for a negotiation towards a permanent cessation of hostilities. In its proposal, Israel offered a ceasefire of at least 45 days in exchange for the release of half of the remaining hostages and disarmament of Hamas and all Palestinian armed fractions in the Gaza Strip as a condition for a permanent end to the conflict. Mediators Egypt and Qatar have presented the new Israeli proposal for a Gaza ceasefire to Hamas, which they said is being reviewed and will respond within 48 hours. Israel confirmed it had eliminated the head of a Hamas Nukba force terror cell, Hamza Wael Mohammad Asafah, 2 weeks ago. Israel Defense Forces said that Asafah participated in the 7th of October attack as well as a hostage release ceremony in February. US President Donald Trump claimed on Monday that Iran has been intentionally delaying a nuclear deal with the United States, saying it may have to face a military strike if it did not desist from its activities. Singapore's President Tharman Shanmugaratnam dissolved the country's parliament on Tuesday, according to a government statement. Nomination day has been set for the 23rd of April. An election will be held on the 3rd of May as per country's election commission. China has ordered its airlines not to take any further deliveries of Boeing jets on Tuesday. Beijing has also asked that Chinese carriers halt purchases of aircraft-related equipment and parts from the US companies. Time to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Goa, a food paradise, both steeped in historical culinary tradition and at the forefront of a modern-day food revolution that is fresher, more local, and more global than ever before. I'm embarking on a journey across the state to explore the very best of food here.
This is honestly my favorite way to eat an egg.
Break bread with some of Goa's most loved chefs and understand what food really means to communities here. Watch Postcards from Goa on National Geographic.
Welcome back after that short break. You're watching Express News. Let's continue. In a media briefing by the IMD, the Director General of Meteorology, Dr. Mrityunjay Mohapatra, stated that El Nino conditions are currently neutral and La Nina is expected to remain neutral as well. The IMD also confirmed that neutral Indian Ocean dipole conditions are expected to persist throughout the season. These conditions indicate that sea surface temperatures across the tropical Indian Ocean are close to normal. Dr. Mohapatra further noted a strong probability that this year's southwest monsoon rainfall will fall into the above normal or excess categories. He added that an increase in snow cover could potentially lead to a reduction in rainfall. A massive sandstorm in central and southern Iraq on Monday sent over 1,800 people to hospitals with respiratory issues. The storm led to airport closures in Najaf and Basra due to low visibility. Hospitals reported over 700 cases in Muthanna province and more than 250 in Najaf, with patients gasping for air. The storm is expected to dissipate, but authorities warn that Iraq will face more dusty days due to climate change. A 5.2 magnitude earthquake hit Southern California on Monday, center 2.5 miles south of Julian, about 20 miles from the US-Mexico border, though no serious damage was reported. The quake was also felt in Mexico's Tijuana, and as far as Los Angeles, local train services were suspended and people reported shaking. Europe recorded its warmest year ever in 2024, driven by ongoing climate change, according to the European State of the Climate Report. The report also highlighted record high sea surface temperatures and the most widespread flooding in Europe since 2013. The report further noted continued glacier mass loss in the Alps, especially in Central Europe, with annual losses since 2015. This report follows the World Meteorological Organization's declaration of 2024 as the warmest year globally. A new study shows the climate crisis has tripled the length of ocean heat waves, with half of them since 2000 directly linked to global warming from fossil fuel usage. A new video shows twin panda sisters Cheng Feng and Cheng Long curiously gazing at the camera, creating a heartwarming moment at a giant panda breeding center. Born on the 11th of June 2019, Cheng Lang made history as the lightest panda at birth, weighing just 42.8 grams. The base is a key center for panda conservation and research. The Bayachanman Saum in Mongolia's Tuf province has launched its Satar of the Virgin Land campaign as spring sowing begins. Farmers are heading to the fields with full support from local authorities to ensure a successful farming season. Bayan Chanman Soam is a hard-working community where every household is involved in farming or animal husbandry. The Soam is hopeful for a fruitful year with abundant harvest and favourable weather conditions. A zoo in Spain's Fuengirola has welcomed a new baby Malayan tapir, an endangered species with only 2,500 left in the wild. The zoo's head of zoology expressed joy over the bird, emphasizing its importance for maintaining genetic diversity. Native to Southeast Asia, the Malayan tapir is the only tapir species outside the Americas. It has been listed on the International Union for the Conservation of Nature's Red List since 2008. Puppy, the African elephant, has started her final journey to a 2,800-acre tropical sanctuary after undergoing freight training and a quarantine period at the Eco Park. The Elephant Sanctuary in Mato Grosso offers rescued elephants a life in semi-freedom. Puppy's journey, which will take up to 5 days, is expected to provide her with a transformational experience. More than 200 climbers have received permits to climb Mount Everest for the spring season, with the route through the Khumbu Icefall now officially open. The icefall doctors have completed rope fixing, allowing climbers to begin their ascent. Nepal's Department of Tourism has issued permits to a total of 214 climbers, including 38 women and 178 men from 22 expeditions as of Thursday. Climbers from 31 countries are now en route. Naufal, a 9-year-old boy from Melbourne, memorized the entire Quran in Arabic and earning recognition as a Hafiz. He describes his journey as a gradual process with inspiration coming from his sister and mother. Naufal's remarkable achievement has led him to compete in international Quran memorization competitions. He is now preparing to lead a prayer at an Indonesian community mosque in Melbourne. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri attended the screening of Kesari Chapter 2 in New Delhi on Tuesday, accompanied by actors Akshay Kumar, R. Madhavan, along with Delhi BJP Minister Manjinder Singh Sirsa. The movie explores the aftermath of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre, featuring a dramatic courtroom showdown between Akshay Kumar and R. Madhavan. The trailer for Jewel Thief, The Haze Begins, was released on Monday, featuring Saif Ali Khan, Kunal Kapoor, Jaideep Ahlawat and Nikita Datta. The plot follows Saif as a cunning thief teaming up with Jaideep to steal a rare diamond. Priyanka Chopra will reunite with her Baywatch co-star Zac Efron in an untitled comedy film directed by Nicholas Stoller. Michael Pena also joins the cast, with the film being produced by Amazon MGM Studios. Michael Jordan stars in Sinners, a supernatural thriller directed by Ryan Coogler, set in 1932 Mississippi, where identical twins open a true joint that turns deadly. The film is set to release on the 16th of April. HBO announced the cast for its upcoming Harry Potter television remake, featuring Lon Lithgow as Dumbledore, Nick Frost as Hagrid and Papa Yoda as Snape. The series will premiere next year. Two-time Oscar winner Kate Blanchett stunned fans by expressing a desire to eventually step away from acting to explore other life pursuits. She made the revelation during a promotional interview for BBC Radio 4's The Fever. Sean Baker-produced Left-Handed Girl will premiere in competition at the Cannes Film Festival Sidebar. The film marks the solo directorial debut of Taiwanese filmmaker Shi Ting-so, known for her collaboration with Baker. The Taipei-set urban melodrama centers on a single mother and her two daughters navigating life on the margins of the Taiwanese capital. Baker co-wrote and edited the film. Carlos Santana is set to tour the US and Europe at 77 in support of his new compilation album Sentient, featuring collaborations with legends like Michael Jackson and Miles Davis. Pop star Katy Perry completed a brief foray into space on Monday, soaring to the edge of the cosmos with an all-women crew on one of billionaire Jeff Bezos' rockets. She travelled in a vessel from Blue Origin. J-pop star Kenshin Kamimura pleaded not guilty to indecent assault in a Hong Kong court on the 15th of April. The 25-year-old, formerly one of boy band One and Only, was accused of assaulting a woman at a restaurant in March. Following his dismissal by Stardust Promotion over a serious compliance violation, Kamimura was granted bail. Over 170 fans queued to attend the hearing, with the next court date set for 31st of July. India will tour Bangladesh in August 2025 for a 6-match white ball series featuring 3 ODIs and 3 T20Is. In IPL, Shreyas Iyer's Punjab Kings will host Ajinkya Rahane's Kolkata Knight Riders in Chandigarh on Tuesday. Early on Monday, Chennai Super Kings snapped a 5-game losing streak and halted Lucknow Super Giants' 3-match winning run in Lucknow. Skipper MS Dhoni smashed 26 of just 11 balls, taking Chennai Super Kings to a dramatic last-over victory. World number 3 and 2-time former champion top seed Alexander Zverev beat past Frenchman Alexander Mueller to advance to the second round of the Munich Open. American Ben Shelton, meanwhile, needed to save 3 match points en route to beating Croat Borna Gojo by 4-6, 7-6 and 7-6 to advance to the second round. In soccer, Paris Saint-Germain cannot afford any complacency as they prepare to take on Aston Villa in the second leg of their Champions League quarter-final on Tuesday. Spanish giants Barcelona will face German club Borussia Dortmund in quarter-final return leg on Tuesday. Barcelona holds the lead by 4-0. Real Madrid and Croatia legend Luka Modric has become an investor and co-owner with a minority stake in champion side Swansea City. CONCACAF President Victor Montigliani has criticized a proposal to expand the 2030 Men's World Cup to 64 teams. World number 1 Magnus Carlsen clinched the Paris Freestyle Chess Grand Slam on Monday night after seeing off Hikaru Nakamura. Fabiano Caruana edged out Vincent Kema in the third-place playoff, winning the match by 1.5. With the victory, Caruana has booked a spot in Las Vegas Grand Slam. Olympic silver medalist Mirabai Chanu has been elected as the chairperson of Athletes Commission of the Indian Weightlifting Federation. Sehat Singh Varg, Astride Askar and Amar Sareen Bajrang have registered new national records in show jumping 6 bar with a 1.9-meter jump. And the Badminton Association of India has announced a 14-member strong Indian squad for the BWF Sudirman Cup Finals 2025, which will be played in China from the 27th of April till the 4th of May. And with it's a wrap here on Express News for now, but news and updates will continue. Thank you so much for joining us right now. Namaskar.